So you guys feel free to talk too. You don't just have to type, but if you want to come on in, grab a seat. And what is the best to memorize a script? The best way to memorize a script for me is repetition. Repetition, repeating it over and over and over. You want to memorize, internalize, and make it your own. That's the key with scripts. And one of the biggest things that throws people off are objections. So they don't really master the scripts, and then they get an objection and they freak out, and they're like, oh my God, they don't want to do anything. And an objection just means you haven't given me enough information yet to make an educated decision. So we'll talk a little bit about overcoming objections today. We'll talk about how a script keeps you on track, the framework, how to practice. Hopefully you'll get you a role play partner to practice your scripts. But we're going to cover all of that. So you still have about 4 minutes before we actually start. So if you want to type some questions in here, you want to make sure that I can see that. If you and I'm not going to post the book in the chat section until we start, because as people come in, the chat will not show them the book, and I'll have to re-upload it, and that's a process. So I've got some friends in here. Josh, I'm going to show you something really cool you can do. I learned how to do this the other day. You guys ready for this? I'm going to pull something out of my back pocket. Boom! Laser. You guys see that? Do y'all see the laser? I love this. There's some good scripts in here. I can't tell all my secrets. Yes, I've got a script for Fizbos for you. Just so you know, the script book I uploaded for you guys, I paid like $300 for it. And you've got some good stuff in here. How to leverage your database for sell by owner, door knocking, online lead conversion, expireds, mega agent open houses, buyer consultations, listing consultations. I mean, it's loaded with really good scripts for you guys. Yeah, I know. Brad Anderson posted it in our scripts group, and then I got permission to share it. So I'm going to share it with you guys, but I bought it. But it's okay. It's all good. It's still worth it. So if you're ever teaching, though, function 2, that's it right there, Kendra. That's my laser pointer. You guys see this right here? If you look at page 38, I'm just playing. You just have to make sure that you don't leave the house without your laser pointer turned on or in your pocket. All right, so if you're standing in the back, we're going to get started in about 30 seconds. So come sit around a table. You're going to need to participate today, which means you're going to have to sit by someone. So sit by somebody. Don't sit by yourself. Otherwise, you guys are going to force me to put the tables where you're sitting across from each other. So I see some guys sitting by yourself. Make sure you just go to a table. Don't worry if you don't know the people. They're avatars. They can't hit you or do anything to you. Just go sit by somebody. It doesn't matter if they're equal number of people there. As long as you have at least 2 people at your table. You can have more than that, but at least 2. So I still see Ray. I don't know if you're going to participate with us or not. Hop up and switch tables. Some of you guys in the back come up and grab a table. If you're going to participate with us, just sit down and we'll start here in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead. It's time for us to start. I'm going to kick us off. I'm going to post in the chat. Let me upload this file that you guys see up on the screen. This is a great book of scripts, and it's got all kind of scripts in there. And let's talk for a second about, I just posted it, so if you click that link, you can download that. Please don't share the script book. Just keep it for yourself and be excited that you got it for free. So scripts, let's talk for a second. This is one of the number one areas that I've seen agents struggle. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to say it. They're afraid they're going to say it wrong. And while I'm a big proponent of you can't say the right thing to the wrong person and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, there's still a right way to say things. And what you say, it matters. And how you say it matters too. And so it's not just about having scripts. And what I've discovered is a lot of agents want to have a ton of scripts. You only need a handful. You really do. You need a handful that you master, and then you understand the process and the framework, and you understand tie downs and embedded commands, and you understand how to overcome objections. When you can do those three things combined with a handful of scripts, you got it. You don't need anything else. But it's not about having a special script or a magic script. It's about having a set of scripts, memorizing them, and you do that by repeating it. So when you find the scripts, if you guys are working for sell by owners or you're working expireds or calling your database, whatever it is, have that script, print it out. I have a flip chart on my desk. It clamps to my desk and I can stand up and extend it, or I can pull it towards me. It moves. I'll try to find the name of the brand name of it and post it in our scripts, tips, and tricks group on Workplace, which if you're not a part of, you should be. And I have all my scripts in there, and it's just like I can flip right to it, and I've got it color coded. So if they throw some objections, I can flip to the objection section, and I can see the objections that I've got there. Now I know this stuff in my head, but I still have it in front of me because I use it as a reference to just remind myself, if I get off track in a conversation, get back on track. That's what a script helps you do. It's a framework for the conversation. Don't get hung up in saying it verbatim, word for word. Gain more of an understanding of the purpose of the conversation or the dialogue, the framework of the conversation. And so you memorize the script by reading it over and over, record it on your iPhone or your Android, and listen to it yourself, delivering that over and over and over again. Get you a scripts partner and practice your scripts over and over and over again. My son practices with Hector Perez every morning at 7:30 in the morning. They call and they practice a couple of scripts for about 10 or 15 minutes. So you should have a scripts partner, and you begin to memorize the script. The more you practice it, you internalize it. So you practice the script, you internalize it, meaning it's part of you. You can kind of regurgitate it. You understand what the meaning behind that script is and the framework behind it is, and then you make it your own. So I have scripts I use all the time, and they're not mine. I've learned them over the years, but I've memorized them, internalized them, and I've made them my own. Through doing them. And so it depends on what market you're going after or who you're targeting when you're using a certain script. You'll know that whoever you're targeting, there's only a handful of objections that a FSBO is going to give you, or an expired is going to give you, or a buyer, or a seller lead, or someone in your database when you're calling to ask for referrals. There's only a handful of things any of those people are going to say, so you can have planned responses. And that's really what a script is. So what I'd like to do is just start out before we dive right into like expireds and all that good stuff. Is if you look up here on the screen, I'm gonna go a couple pages into this, and there's a great script on leveraging your database. And you guys all have a database, hopefully. If not, you're building it. And so you're all building your database. You all have a database, and you should be reaching out to it daily. Now, there's two scripts in here, and this is the one I want you to see, not the coffee one. We'll talk about the coffee one in just a second. So we're going to start right here at the top, and I want you to think of this. And in just a second, I'm going to put some cones up around your table so that only the people at your table can hear each other. And you're going to practice the script. I'm going to leave it up on the screen. If you can't see it good, you can download it on your computer. It's in the chat box. You can click the big plus sign right above your monitor. The screen in the room. It'll make the screen bigger so that you can see it. And then you can actually zoom in on it too. So the script is really this. Hi, this is Jonathan Dupree with eXp Realty. Hey, I hope you and your family are doing well. Do you have a quick minute for me? Or do you have a quick minute for a business call? Doesn't matter what you say in that part. Just, do you have a quick minute? I was wondering if I could help you with any real estate questions that you might have. And then just listen. And if they say, well, I don't really have any, well, fantastic. I was just curious. Do you or anyone you know are curious about the value of your home? There's a couple examples there. You don't have to say all of them. Just pick one or two of these examples that you'd want to throw in there. Do you happen to know anyone who's looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate? If you don't see anything and the screen is black, click the refresh wheel. It just means you got in here late. That's all that means. So there's a little, right next to the plus sign, there's a refresh button. Click that a couple of times and your screen should refresh and you should see the script on the screen.
Hey,
yeah.
And can you repost the link to this again for people who came in late? Because it's not there for them.
Well, that's what happens when you come in late. I'm just playing.
I have the link.
I'm playing. Don't get all upset. I'm just playing. That was my son. That's why I could say that.
Don't make me come in there.
Yeah, right. I can handle that objection. And then it gives you a couple other questions here that you can ask them. So look, Noah, I know that I want to be your resource for everything real estate related. So please call me if you ever have any questions. Okay. Like seriously, if you ever think of getting a fence or needing a good landscaper or want to get your house painted or need a plumber or need someone who sells appliances, just you give me a call, anything to do with your house. Okay. And I also want to let you know my business is based off of referrals. So if you go figure out where I'm at, I'm on number 3. My business is based on referrals from great clients and friends and people like you. So before I let you go, who do you know that needs to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate in the near future? Now, they might not know anyone, but I'm planting the seed. Think of the framework. It's not so much if you get a referral here, it's lagniappe. And then Louisiana, that's a term that we have that stands for a little something extra for nothing. So if you go eat, when you guys come to EXPCon and you go to New Orleans and you're eating great food, they might give you an extra oyster for they call it lagniappe, a little something extra for nothing. And so in this script, if you get a referral, that's lagniappe. It's a little something extra for nothing. The main goal is to plant a seed in the people in your database's head that you work off of referrals, and you're always looking for people who are looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate. So the next time they're having a conversation 3 weeks from now with a friend of theirs, and they say, what'd you do this weekend? They said, we went and looked at homes. Oh, are you guys thinking of moving? Yeah. Oh my gosh, you need to call my friend Jonathan. He can absolutely help you out. I planted that seed in their mind. Then I'm going to move to number 4. Can you happen to think of maybe anyone, friend, family member, coworker, someone from church? Let them think. Pause. Silence. Awkward silence is good. Just pause. And then if they go, I can't really think of anyone. Well, look, fantastic. Thanks for taking the time to think about that. I really appreciate your help. And if anyone should come to mind, don't hesitate to give me a call. Could you do that for me? They're going to say yes. Now, this is someone that you want to call your center of influence, your sphere of influence, past clients, and you can use this script 4 to 6 times a year. I mean, it's a great script. I'm going to share one more, and then we're going to role play this first one and the second one. Give me 1 second. I got to move over my presentation tool. So here's the second script, and this one I love. I call it. I do one very similar to this. It's called 30 Cups of Coffee in 30 Days. At the end of the mastermind, I'll share that whole process. So this one is if you really want to ramp up your pipeline, you want to get more referrals, you're calling people who you know. So I'm going to give you this version, and then I'm going to give you my version. So this version is, hey, Noah, this is Jonathan. How are things going? Fantastic. Oh, that's great, man. So good to hear. Hey, listen, I wanted to let you know the market is really moving and home values are going up and increasing. And I was just curious, are you interested in knowing what your home value is? That sure sounds great. Wonderful. Look, I want to put together a home value for you. Have you done any upgrades? And once it's ready, I'd love to meet for coffee so that we can get together and I can give it to you and go over it. How's that sound? And then if they ask about the market, here's this next part. Inventory levels are low when a great home comes on the market. Buyers and investors are writing offers and driving prices. And you're going to ask them one of these three questions. Have you had any thoughts of selling? Do you know anyone who's had any thoughts of selling? Do you know anyone who's tried to sell in the past and it didn't work out? So you're not asking all of those, just asking one of those questions. Now, if it's someone who you really know, like they're in your top 30 influencers, my coffee script is a little different. My coffee script is, hey, Noah, this is Jonathan. How are things going? Man, that's Noah, that's role play for real. So I'll say ring, ring.
Okay.
You say hello. So when you guys role play and you're going to be taking turns, someone's going to go ring, ring, and the other person's going to say hello. And that's going to be the prospect or the client. And then you'll start with your script. So ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Noah, this is Jonathan. What's going on?
Not much, just in this class right now. What about you?
Okay. Oh man, I'm just teaching a class right now. Hey, listen though, I wanted to give you a quick call. Man, I just want to tell you, I'm so excited about my real estate business. I've got some great things happening right now, and I know that you're an influencer and you know so many people. And I just want to see if you and I could get together one day this week or next week and grab a cup of coffee so I could share what's going on and let you see how you could help me.
Yeah, man, I'd be down.
Okay, awesome. So what would be better? I could meet you Wednesday at 5 or I could meet you Thursday at 9 in the morning.
Uh, Wednesday at 5 sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Hey, I'm going to put it on my calendar, put it on your calendar. If something comes up, please call me and let me know, and I'll do the same thing for you. And man, I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's been a while. I can't wait to connect. That's
All
it.
right, man, same here.
All right, so now I meet for coffee, and what do I tell them when I meet for coffee? It's just, hey Noah, I'm really excited about my business. Thanks so much for meeting with me. I've got all these great tools. I don't know if you heard or not, but I merged my brokerage with EXP recently. Really excited about that transition for us. It's given us a lot of tools to help buyers and sellers and investors. And the reason I wanted to meet with you is because I know that you know so many people. I know you're really connected and you're an influencer. And my question is, what has to happen for me to be the realtor of choice in your world when the subject of real estate comes up with friends or family members or coworkers or anyone in your world? You would feel comfortable enough referring those people to me. What would have to happen for that to happen, Noah?
Uh, I mean, nothing really.
Okay, awesome. So listen, when you come across someone who's looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, instead of just giving them my card, what I'd like for you to do is give them my information and then text me their information and I'll reach out to them and let them know I'll be reaching out to them. I promise I'll take great care of them. Okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I can do
Perfect.
that.
Hey, listen, and by the way, is there anything I can do to help you?
Not right now that I can think of.
Okay, well, if you do, don't hesitate to let me know. And man, look, thank you so much for buying my coffee today and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. It's great seeing you. Tell the family I said hello.
I will, man.
Okay. So that's a quick coffee script. I mean, that's what I would do. And I would do that with my top influencers. And if you noticed, I set the expectation I work off of referrals. I ask them what has to happen for me to be the realtor of choice in their world so that when the subject of real estate comes up, they feel comfortable enough referring to me. They're going to go, nothing, I can do that for you. Remember, this is your top 30 people in your database. They love you. And then I coached him on what to do when he has a referral. I didn't just say, okay, thanks so much. I said, here's what I want you to do. Give them my information, but then text me their information and let them know I'm going to be reaching out to them. And then I end it by circling back to, what can I do to help you? And most of the time they'll say nothing. I can't think of anything right now. And then you just say, well, no worries. If you ever think of anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to let me know. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave this script up on the screen. And give me 1 second so I can turn around and change these. I'm going to throw some privacy circles up around the tables. If you're standing outside of a table, you will not be able to hear anyone at a table. So if you want to participate, you need to go sit at a table. And if you're by yourself, you want to go sit at a table with other people so that you can participate in this. And each person's going to have a chance to go. Just take a few minutes, role play the script on the screen. One person be the caller, the agent, and one person be the client, and just go ring, ring. The other person say hello. And then if it's not your turn, just listen to the people at your table and then rotate so that everyone has a turn. When everyone at your table is done, stand up, and that'll let me know, because I won't be able to hear you guys once I put these privacy volumes on. But just stand up, and that'll let me know. I can kind of get a good idea of when everyone has wrapped up. So you're going to role play the script on the screen. And then when we're done with that, we're going to shift and we're going to talk about the for sale by owner script and expireds. And then we're going to talk about overcoming objections. Those are the three things we're covering today: your database, for sale by owners and expireds, and overcoming and handling objections. Any questions before I throw these privacy rings up? Okay, so y'all start role playing.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, shit. I walked away from my table. Not on purpose.
Are you hiding back here? So you guys are going to be role playing that script on the screen, and you can open it in the chat box, or if you click on the little magnifying glass, it'll make it bigger for you. And you can see if on the top of that screen, there's a little magnifying glass. You can make your screen bigger.
You were just even in the market to buy a home.
No, not right now. I'm not. I have seen a few signs in the neighborhood, but I'm not really looking.
Okay.
So are you guys role playing? Valerie, it looks like Maureen is idle, but if you want to role play, you can hop into any one of these other tables.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head at this moment, but maybe in the future.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, as you know, I want to be the in real estate related to you. Please call me whenever you have any questions, okay? I sound
Yep.
horrible.
We'll
Oh my
do.
God.
So when you go into a script, I don't think you sound horrible at all. You got such a great voice. Doesn't she have such a good voice? I was telling her
Yes,
that.
that
Yes.
tonality.
I was telling her that the
Pretty
other. I was on the phone with Kendra recently, just a little while ago. And I said, "You have such a great voice on the phone." the key to me with scripts is right now it's going to sound weird because you're like reading it and you're like, okay, this isn't a script I normally use and it doesn't sound like me. And so I feel really uncomfortable and like I'm really bombing and messing this up. The reality is if you just keep the framework of what you're trying to say and be yourself, that's where the internalization comes in when you internalize it and then you kind of make it your own. So if you get the framework of it and you start to memorize it, you'll make it yours and it'll just flow naturally like everything else that you say when you normally talk, how it just flows. That's how it'll happen.
Okay. Okay.
Petition?
We've kind of, my wife, we've been talking a little bit, but right now, I think we're gonna stay where we are. We're happy where we are right now.
Okay, that's good to know. So as you know, I want to be your resource.
So for those of you watching the recording, I'm doing a little promoting of the class.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
All right, ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Kristen with eXp Realty. How are you doing today?
Oh, hey, Kristen. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I've been really good. It's been a while since we talked, so I wanted to give you a call. Do you have a quick second?
I do.
Okay, awesome. I was wondering if you could help me with some, or if I could help you with some real estate questions that you might have.
Well, I don't really have any right now. You did a great job on our last transaction.
Okay, well, as you know, I always want to be your resource for anything real estate related. So I just want you to ask questions, all right?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
definitely call you if I had any.
Awesome. And as you know, my business, just like yours, being my lender, is based on referrals. So is there anyone, before I let you go, that you know that would need to buy a house or sell a house in the near future?
Wow, I haven't heard anyone say anything recently, but I do kind of tend to perk my ears up when I hear something.
Okay, great. Well, if you think of anybody, even in your office, or a neighbor, or I know you guys are really involved, that hear of anyone, I would love to be assistant guy. So I would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind giving me a call or shooting me a text message with their information, or even if you're with them, I'd be happy to jump on a three-way call with you guys, and kind of get that process started to help them.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, great. Well, I'll continue to keep you in mind also if I have any unrepresented buyers come through at any of my open houses in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I'll be in touch. And like I said, I would love to get some business drawn up with you again soon.
Great. I'll both ways.
That sounded great.
Thanks.
That freaked me out.
Sorry. I snuck in here, but it sounded really good.
Awesome.
Continue to be yourself.
What's that?
I said always continue to be yourself.
Oh, well,
through
thank
the
you.
scripts.
That's right. Be yourself. That's it. You sounded great, though.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan.
Oh, no. Oh,
What you doing
I don't know
now?
what just happened.
Y'all
I have
done?
no idea. Yeah, I just split up and it shot me across the room.
That's okay. That's okay. It looks like most
I think
everybody.
I was trying.
Perfect. If you give me like a
All right, they're still going.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I work for my father.
He passed it back.
There he is.
Does y'all need me?
Hi.
Are y'all,
Hi.
y'all
What are we
done?
doing now? Are we the
We're
only ones
done.
standing up?
No, there's multiple people. I'm about to wrap it up. Looks like there's maybe 2 more people role playing real quick, but I'm about to remove the silence cone, so it's going to probably get loud.
Says
we will, if you have any questions, you can certainly contact
That's
me.
right.
There,
All
we're all live
right.
now. I'll tell you.
We're through.
yeah, we back.
Okay. All right. So can you guys hear me real quick? I'm going to stop you just for a second.
Yes.
Hopefully everyone got a chance to go. And if not, that's okay. If you didn't role play yet, role play first on the next round of scripts that we're going to do. I just uploaded my FSBO script because the FSBO script up on the screen that I'm about to pull up in a minute is different. I'm going to go over that one because you have it, and then you also have the one that I use, and you can choose. You might use them both. You might find one. You might pull a little from each one and make your own. That's the beauty of scripts. It just gives you the process behind it. And then make sure if you have a lot of background noise, if you wouldn't mind muting out your mic while I have everybody unmuted. So let's talk about that script for a second. Tell me some things you maybe an aha you had, or something you picked up, or something you noticed as you were role playing it.
You know, Jonathan, one thing that I always like to do is I ask them, what would a great lead for you look like?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And, so then they'll tell me and I go, great. Well, sometimes I see that. So we could swap leads. We could take care of each other.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
you repeat your question that you asked?
Yeah, my question was, hers. Shelly, you want to repeat what you asked them?
Yes, I ask, what would a great lead for you look like? In other words, what would your perfect lead look like? Would it look like someone buying flooring? Would it look like someone that needs a mortgage? It depends on what that person does for a living.
So I think that's a great question.
And sometimes we know, and sometimes we don't know what their perfect lead would look like.
That's right, but still asking them lets them know, hey, they're looking to help me. This is great. Someone was about to say something in the back. Was it Ray? Maybe.
It was me. I don't understand the question she's asking. You're calling someone to ask them what a great lead looks like to them?
No, what she's saying is while she's having a conversation with people in her database, she's asking for referrals because this script is going, I'm intentionally asking for referrals. And so she's just saying in the conversation, she's also working into the script, hey, by the way, what does a great referral look like for you? So if she's talking to someone who's an insurance agent, or she's talking to somebody who owns a flooring company, or someone who, if it's a stay-at-home mom, you're probably not going to ask that question. But if it's someone who's in business, then that's a great question to ask them, because you're asking for a referral, but you're also looking to reciprocate. You're looking to give referrals to them too. You're going, look, I come across people all the time, so I might meet someone who's a great referral for you too, by the way. What does that look like? That's what she's saying. Any thoughts while you were role playing? I saw some of the chats in there, like, I sounded horrible, I need to practice. Did anyone have in your mind, like in your head, anyone's voice, that voice in your head say, this doesn't sound like me?
Well, Jonathan, I think the first time you look at any script, it's so rote that you have to practice it more times. And I find that practicing in front of a mirror helps and kind of calms me for confidence.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. That's exactly what I told one person when they said that. I said, look, it's a new script. It's just new for you. And so it's going to sound like, oh my gosh, I'm not good at this. And what I would encourage you is, when you're learning a script, to not immediately jump to, that won't work in my market, or that doesn't sound like me. My friends are going to be like, dude, who are you? This isn't you. And so don't let those thoughts in your head, you're going to make up those stories, and you're going to use them as validation to justify why you don't make the calls, or why you don't use the scripts and being intentional in your calls. And if you're intentional and you follow the script as a framework, if you get off track, that's why I always keep my scripts in front of me. If you're making calls, or you're having the dialogue and you get off track, you have the script to look at to circle back and get back on track. Just find one of the points and start and dive right back into it. It's why when I interview an agent for Agent Attraction, I say something like this: hey, Noah, this is going to be one of the most important conversations you and I have. I don't want to miss anything. Is it okay if I take some notes? And they're going to say, yeah. And then I pull out my iPad, and I have a needs analysis, a series of questions that I'll ask those agents. And I have that in front of me because it's my script. If we start talking and I get off track, I can look back at my iPad and look back at a bank of questions and just pick one of them and circle back and get back on target. So we're going to do something right now that might make a little bit of you guys uncomfortable. I'm going to share one more script. We're going to role play, and then we're going to do something. You're going to make a call. You're going to try to dial 3 to 5 people in your phone who are friends, and you're going to use this generate repeat and referral business script. And we're going to see what kind of success you have. It doesn't matter if you get a referral or not. The goal is just to plant a seed in your database's mind that you work off of referrals. So in just a few minutes, you'll take out your phone and you're going to make a call. But first, I want to go over a FSBO script with you, and I'm going to pull it up. So let's talk a second before we just dive into FSBOs. What do you know about a for sale by owner? What are some of the things that you know?
Cheap.
What?
They're cheap. They're trying to save me.
Okay. They're trying to save a commission.
86% list with an agent.
86% end up listing with an agent.
They want to sell their home.
They want to sell their home. They don't want to work with a realtor. I don't know what NFD means, Hector, so you have to translate for me.
That's a secret.
Oh, okay.
They don't think realtors are worth the money.
Don't think realtors are worth the money. And so if you could think of this, when you're calling for sell by owners, it's not to do any type of presentation. It's simply to set an appointment. Most of your calls are just to set an appointment or get a referral. Don't get into presentation mode on the telephone. I work for sell by owners, and for my second month in real estate, I had 7 closings, and it was basically off of working for sell by owners because my whole family was in real estate. So I didn't have friends and family to call and get leads from. They were all agents who worked for my mom. So I literally started calling for sell by owners, and those guys became like some of my best clients and friends and referred me business still to this day. So remember this, preview appointment. It's a preview appointment. You are working to just preview their home. If you can keep that in mind, then this is easy, and you know that you're running a numbers game here. That's exactly what you're doing. And so I have a system. I'm going to teach this, not today, but in the boot camp that I'm doing. It's an 8-week follow-up system where after I preview, I then put them in a system and follow up for 8 weeks. It's a process. Buy into the process. Most agents stop following up after the first call, maybe the second call, and that's why they don't list for sell by owners. But you just heard Noah say 86% for sell by owners end up listing with a realtor. So there's a couple of dialogue in the book that you have. It gives you some ideas and thoughts on previewing the home, and then it gives you a script. And here's the script. The first part of it, this is really important. This is, let me go back a page. This is really important. It says, "Hi, I'm looking for the owner of the home for sale." That's really important. You want to be talking to the owner. They say, "This is the owner." Fantastic. My name's Jonathan Dupree, and I'm in real estate. How are you today? Now, one of the first things they're probably going to say is, "We don't want to work with a realtor." And that's why I say, "I'm in real estate. How are you today?" This script says, "I'm with eXp Realty." You can say that or just say, "I'm in real estate." In the chat box, I posted my FSBO script. You can use either one. And so I'd say, "I'm in real estate. How are you today?" And they go, "Well, we don't want to work with a realtor." Fantastic. There are a lot of realtors I don't want to work with either. Anyway, I'm a specialist in this area, and my goal is to know all about the homes for sale in the marketplace for the buyers that I'm working with. Would you be offended if I asked you a few questions about your property? Fantastic. So now I'm going to go into the questions, and here they are. So I know the ad on the FSBO website said that you had 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. Are the rooms good size? I'm just going to go through and ask these questions. How's the kitchen? How the bathroom's been remodeled? Tell me a little bit about the yard. Tell me about your neighborhood. You feel like it's a great place to raise a family? Is there anything else that's important to know that a buyer would want to know? Sounds like you have a great home. I'm moving to number 2. Sounds like you have a great home. Why are you selling, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, that's great. Where are you moving to? How'd you decide? Now, you take some common sense. You got to really be aware of what they're saying. Listen. Don't think about what you're going to say next, because if you just get in the habit of going, "Great, yep, fantastic," and you're like, "Why are you selling?" And they say, "Because we can't pay our house note anymore. I'm about to lose our house." Fantastic. And then you move on, you can't catch yourself. So listen to what they're really telling you. How'd you decide on that area? Who did you want to sell your home to? A friend, a neighbor, a relative? How much is your new house that you're buying? Good for you. So do you have to sell this home first to close on the next one? What's your time frame in selling? How long? What's more important, time or money? How did you guys come up with your sales price? Okay, I got it. Fantastic. There's many homes on the market right now. What are you guys doing differently to market yours? And they might tell you a couple things. Okay, what else? What else are you doing? If you're having trouble seeing the screen, hit the refresh. That's all I can tell you. I can't fix the screen for you. If there was an advantage to use me to market your home, would you consider it? You might ask that. You might save that in your back pocket until one of your follow-ups that you meet with them. And then now I'm going to set the appointment. So that'd be, look, would you be offended if I took 10 or 15 minutes to come over and preview your home? That's it. That's a script to preview a for sale by owner. The goal is to get in front of them and preview their home and then put them in your follow-up system if it's someone you think you would enjoy working with and it'd be beneficial to partner up and work. So my script is very similar, the script that I use, and I've used it for years. And so I just simply say, hi, this is Jonathan Dupree. I'm calling for the owner of the home for sale. Is this the owner? Great. Hey, I'm in real estate. How are you today? Fantastic. Listen, and then they give me an objection. I don't want to work with a realtor. Fantastic. There are a lot of realtors I don't like to work with either. Anyway, is your home still available? Great. Would you be offended if I took 10 or 15 minutes to come over and preview it? Now they're going to tell me all the things. Well, we're not paying you a commission. Fantastic. I'm not asking for a commission. I'm just asking to come preview it. Do you have a buyer? I don't know. I work with a lot of buyers in your area, but I haven't seen your home yet, and that's why I'm calling. I'd love to come take 10 or 15 minutes to preview it to see if it could potentially be a fit for one of them. We're not listing it. Great. I'm not asking you to list it. I'm just asking to preview it. Would you be offended if I took 10 or 15 minutes to come preview it? They're only going to give you a handful of objections. That's it. And so my goal is to trust in the process and know if I can get in front of them, preview it, and they've got it priced decent, or that I feel like they're coachable. I'm going to put them in my system for 8 weeks, and I'm going to bring them through the process. And if I do that, if I do that every day, then in 90 days, I'm going to have multiple listings. It's just a reality. So I'm going to leave this script up here, and I'm just going to leave it on the first page. You don't have to do every question on there. And let's role play this script, and we'll do the same. Didn't want to do that. So I'm going to put back up the privacy circle. If you didn't have an opportunity to role play in the last round, start this round. You be the first person to go. And then when you're done, stand up. And then we're going to talk about overcoming objections. And then we're actually going to make a couple of phone calls, and I'm going to give you an expired script too. So right now we are role-playing scripts, and you're not going to hear them because of those privacy circles around them. All right, so they're still role-playing. We're about to wrap this up, and they're actually going to make some phone calls.
Conversations to be very challenging.
Yeah. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just eavesdropping.
You know what I'm talking about then. So let me look in front of me, but let me just try it out, okay?
Go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, this is Clark Zimmerman with eXp Realty. I saw that you had your house listed for sale by owner, and I try to keep abreast of the marketplace and what's going on in the areas that I work. Would you mind if I came, or would it bother you if I took a look at your home to see if it was a fit for any of my clients?
Well, why don't your clients take a look at it online?
You know, I guess I have to ask you, when you bought your home, did you go see it in person, or did you buy it off the pictures online?
My realtor took me around.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing. I think your home is beautiful. I can tell from the pictures that you've taken a lot of care in the home. but I know most of my clients personally, and I have a real good understanding of what they want in a home. And I take special care to recommend homes to them that meet their criteria. So I go above and beyond for my clients, and I try to take a look at the homes personally before I recommend them to them. Would you be offended if I came by and took a look? What time would be a good time for me to come by?
And you have a particular buyer in mind?
Well, I have a lot of buyers since I work this area.
His front yard. Are you on a corner lot, cul-de-sac?
I am I'm actually at the end of the block.
Okay. Okay, so is the yard, is it a nice size?
Yeah, I do think so.
All right then, well tell me
Loved your thing about saying that you're new and you wanted to learn about you. Where you said that it was wonderful. I've heard someone else use that too, and that was wonderful.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's
that
great.
was a wonderful speech.
Okay, so do you have all to sell a flat or close on one? Oh, yeah. So do you have to sell this home first? Oh, to close on the new one.
Right.
That's kind of, I did an open house over the weekend, and that was kind of the one gal. She has a house in Savannah she's trying to sell, and she doesn't, not liking her agent. She said she wants to fire him.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
I sent her a message.
So you did send a message. Okay.
I said, well, she didn't give me her email address, and she talked about, changing her phone number. So that's kind of where I wanted to put that, because she said.
I'm a rancher. We live on a ranch,
Oh, wow, neat.
which means we have cattle.
Cows, you said?
Cows, yeah. Ranchers have cows, and farmers have land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that where is it from a ranching standpoint? Is it just a business, or you do what all do you do?
I personally don't. My son is actually
And listing it.
Oh, 3%. I mean, that's very good to know that you are. So let me ask you this: would you have anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes where I can come and actually preview the home to make sure that I could find a good match for my buyers that are looking in that neighborhood?
Sure.
Oh, you were too easy,
so
Kendra. Sure, come on
Yeah,
over.
right? It was not hard with me. It was not easy with me.
He's too easy. What was that? That jumped in. Is that?
That's me, Jonathan.
That's Jonathan.
That's John. That's
She
Jonathan.
thought hard. She's like, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That was Leo. I mean, you guys.
I mean,
are
that's actually my first time ever. I never called Fizbo.
You did great. You did great. My only recommendation: never talk about commission over the phone. So if they say something like, well, what would you list it for if we did list it or something like that? What I would say, I didn't say this and I should have. I would have said something like, I'm really not calling to list your home. I'm just calling to preview it. And me trying to give you a presentation in 2 minutes over the telephone wouldn't give it justice. But I tell you what, when I come preview your home, if you'd like to know what I do to sell homes, I'll be more than happy to take some extra time and sit down and share that with you and go over everything, including commission. How's that sound? Fair enough? And I'm going to end it with that tie down. And they're going to go, yeah, okay, that sounds good. And now I don't have to get into a presentation over the telephone.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But I thought you did great.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
500%.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up.
Here we go.
Talk later, Carol.
And I just want to give you a little bit of
Kendra.
before I give you some feedback, real quick. Give me some thoughts on that role play. Just some things you observed or experienced.
Well, I gave Leo. No, I didn't. I think the number one objection that I always get with for sell by owners is they don't want to sell, or they have a friend or their attorney, their friend is an attorney who's going to handle the paperwork, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did that with the first guy.
Okay.
And that's really it. Normally I can get into the door. I had been using a different script, and I just kind of break the ice with them. So this is new, but I'm trying to throw out all of my other scripts that I have, because mine is I use the Fearless Agent one. I'm sure you know who that is.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think there's really so much right or wrong scripts. What I would tell you is just keep in mind, Ray, if you wouldn't mind hitting mute real quick, there's some background noise going on. But there's if you commit to the process, they're all going to tell you they don't want to sell. And it's that initial resistance. Like if you walk into a computer store because you got to buy a new computer, and the sales guy goes, "Can I help you?" And you go, "No, I'm just looking." And you're really not. You're there to buy a computer, but you're going to walk around for a little while, and then you'll go find someone to help you. It's just that initial resistance. They want to sell their home. They're going to need help, and the majority of them are going to end up listing. So I want to. Anything else? So what else did you observe in that role play with doing the fist-bumps?
hey guys, I have to leave. I have a hop on a 4:00 conference call. Try to hop back on after I finish it, though.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Kendra.
Thank you. Alrighty, bye.
I was just going to say I just need to own the script because I find for sale by owners to actually be hostile as opposed to accommodating.
Yeah. So my encouragement there is to be careful, because if you anticipate that they're going to be hostile, you could come across hostile before they're ever hostile, just because you're anticipating it. And so always try to get in the right frame of mind when you're calling, especially expireds and for sale by owners, because they're already going to be putting up the barrier, and you don't want to project that in the call. And so just be what the best advice I could give to you is for sale by owners and expireds, don't sit around and practice scripts on how to handle realtors calling them. And so if you master your script, you're going to be able to move them through the process, and it's going to be beautiful. And some of them will become great friends of yours, and you go, you know what? They're really not all that bad. It's just going through the numbers and then getting them in the process to the part where they begin to break down the walls of resistance that they've thrown up. So think of this real quick, and then we're going to wrap up in a different kind of way. I want you to think of overcoming objections. And a lot of times in your script, you can begin to overcome them. And I use a lot of embedded commands and tie downs. So an embedded command is like something subconsciously you're basically planting a seed in their mind. So when I say something like, "Hey, Noah, do you happen to know anyone who's looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate?" I don't know if you can tell or not, but every time I say that, buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, the tone is a little bit deeper. I say that that phrase, buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, with a little more power and authority. And that is an embedded command. Another version of an embedded command would be something like, "So Noah, I'm going to send you a pre-listing packet. It's going to give you some information, a little bit of homework, so that when you list with me tonight, when I come over, you'll already have a lot of questions answered. Sound good?" In that phrase, I use an embedded command. When you list with me tonight, I'm planting a seed that we're listing this house. I'm listing it, and I'm listing it tonight. I use the tie down. Fair enough, or sound good. A tie down is a simple statement that gets them to agree with you. It's like a mini close. You're tying them down to listing with you tonight. So if you do a good job of understanding embedded commands and tie downs, then you'll have fewer objections. And if you master the scripts, and don't get hung up, when I snuck into the tables, I would hear some of you guys getting hung up on being word for word with the script. Don't focus on that. Right now you are, because you're learning a new script, but really be focused in understanding the thought process behind the script and the framework of the script. When you get an objection, that's good. That's a buyer signal. It means you've got someone who is ready. They're interested, but they don't have quite enough information yet to be interested enough. And so that's okay. You don't be afraid of objections. Don't be fearful of what they might say back. So the first thing is, don't ever take it personal when someone gives you an objection. Just don't take it personal. The second is, don't get defensive or argue with a prospect. If you're talking to somebody for sale by owner and expired, and they're being ugly, and you try to handle that objection and they're just still being rude, just say, hey, listen, it's okay. I don't have to preview your home, and I wish you the very best, and I hope that you sell it. If I can ever help you, don't hesitate to give me a call. Have a great day. And then just hang up and get off the phone and call the next person. Don't let it get you out of your frame of mind and get you discouraged or upset. And then all of a sudden you project that on your future calls. So don't ever get defensive. There's a difference in being passionate and excited about what we do and wanting to make a difference in people's lives. But at the end of the day, you're a lot better off just being calm and cool and collected. And if they give you some tough questions or objections, you overcome them. If they're they start acting like just a rude jerk, and they're out of line, just say, hey, listen, I wish you the very best. Have a great day. Click and call the next person. Allow your confidence to be your guide. You want to be confident. Come from a strong posture. And what that does is it gives you this feeling, this belief, this conviction about what you do and how it's going to help them. And then seek out help when you need it. So don't ever feel like you have to have every answer. And if you get an objection and you don't know the answer, say, hey, that's a great question. I'll jot it down. I'll make sure that I get it answered for you. It's okay to do that. There's a couple of ways to overcome. There's a great script. You probably all know it if you've been in sales, called Feel, Felt, Found. That's a great script when someone gives you an objection, where you just basically say, I understand exactly how you feel. In fact, I've had a lot of clients who felt that way. However, what they found out. So if a sell by owner goes, we don't want to list it with a realtor. We want to do it ourselves. Hey, I understand exactly how you feel. In fact, I felt the same way. I mean, if I could sell my house myself and save thousands of dollars, save the commission, and not make a mistake that could cost me tens of thousands of dollars, I'd do it too. But you know what I found out? Most of my for sale by owners that I've helped who've worked with me, they've actually netted more money working with me paying a commission than selling on their own. And I'd love to just sit and take 15 minutes and share with you what I do to get homes sold. That's just a quick example of feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. Others have felt the same way. Here's what I found out, or here's what they found out. You also, when you get an objection, you can think neutralize, confirm, and reposition. So if someone gives you an objection, I don't have the money to buy a house right now. Then you neutralize it. Okay. Well, tell me more. Is that the only thing preventing you from buying a house right now? So you're neutralizing the objection, and then you're confirming that the lack of funds is the real reason that they're not buying a house right now. And they'll say yes, or they'll say no. You're really identifying what the real issue is. And then once you do that, you move through that objection and you reposition. And so when you reposition, you say, so if I could help you overcome that, now you need to identify if it really is that they don't have enough money, or is there a program that's a good fit for them? Maybe they're a first-time home buyer and they can use bond money, or what, different programs in your market. And that's just an example using the money. It could be anything, but you neutralize it, meaning you agree with them. Okay, I understand. Tell me more about that. And then you confirm, is this the only thing? Is there anything else that's stopping you? I had this with a agent yesterday who I've been working for a long time, 3 months, to bring over to EXP. And And I called them and we had a conversation, and they said, I'm right there. I'm just scared. And I said, okay. I get it, man. I totally do. I made the transition and it was scary for me too. And I was nervous. So outside of being scared, what else is holding you back from making the moves? Is there anything else? Well, no, not really. Just that. So now you reposition. Okay. So let's think about worst case scenario. If you come over and you really don't like it, do you think your company would take you back? Well, yeah, they would take me back. So what do you really have to lose? So it's neutralize, confirm, and reposition when you're getting objections. So just listen and don't freak out when they give you an objection. If you can remember those three things and combine with using a few embedded commands and tie downs in your scripts and have a handful of scripts, you got this thing mastered. I mean, you really do. Here's how I'd like to end. It's 3:05. Let's take 10 minutes. Grab your phone, mute your mic on the computer, call people you know. Let's try to make 5 dials. You might not get someone, but try your best. Don't check voicemail. Don't check out on me in this last 10 minutes. And I want you to use the script that I'm going to put on the screen, the one that we did first about leveraging your database. And I want you to call and utilize this script. So let's take this last 10 minutes and try to make 5 dials, and I'll be back at 3:15 and we'll debrief and go, how did it go making those calls to people that you know, like, and trust? Don't be afraid. Normally I tell people when they don't want to call people they know, like, and trust, and I'm like, what did you do that's so bad that they wouldn't want to help you, to your friends and family and coworkers? So you can't call coworkers, but you guys know what I mean. So go ahead and let's try to make 5 dials in this next 10 minutes. This is my first time to ever do this class. All right, we're going to start wrapping up your calls. So if you're still on a call, you can finish. If you're not on a call, don't make another one. So share with me, those of you guys did anyone happen to get anybody on the phone?
I did.
Okay. And tell me about it. How did the call go?
It went fine. I didn't use this script because I'm not comfortable with it. I've
Okay.
used one that I've heard in the past saying that, and I don't know if it was you or not, saying that, I was just kind of looking over my goals for the next 6
Yep.
months and asking them for referrals that way.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. There's not. So how did the call go? Were they nice? Was it a good call?
Oh, he's super nice. He was a past client, so he was super nice and, kind of new to the area. So he didn't have that, but he reiterated that he loved me. And,
Yeah.
I said, well, I don't know if you knew I was with a new company. So he asked me to make sure, he has all my new information. He would keep me in mind.
Perfect. That's awesome. Anyone else get someone on the phone? And also, I'm going to give you a call in the morning, by the way, Gabrielle.
Thank you.
Anyone else were you able to get someone on the telephone? You guys are quiet.
Since someone's talking, can I ask a question?
Yep, go ahead.
I feel like I'm very new to the area that I live in, so everyone I know here is a realtor.
Yeah.
What advice would you give me for finding people in the area?
Well, I would tell you join any kind of club you can join, a networking group, go sit at coffee shops and make calls in the coffee shop where there's lots of people, and wear a name badge and talk a little bit louder when you're making your calls. You'll meet people that way. Don't be afraid to prospect. So, Noah, share what happened yesterday. Like, how did you start that conversation? You're in a coffee shop, you see some people looking at houses on Zillow, and you approach them. Noah?
He said he had to take a client call.
Oh, okay. So he approached them and he said, "Hey, I see you guys are looking on Zillow. Are y'all looking at houses?" And they said, "We own a house in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and California, and we're wanting to buy one here in Baton Rouge." And Noah said, "Well, I'm a realtor. I can help you guys. Are you working with an agent?" And they said, "No, we're not." And Noah went and showed them homes in the $500,000 to $650,000 range. So he saw them and kind of did a little prospecting, had his antennas up. So if you're in a market where you don't know a lot of people, you just go meet people and you build a sphere, and you talk to people. Always wear your name badge. Always talk to people, and don't be afraid when you introduce yourself to people, wherever it is, to say, "Hey, by the way, I'm in real estate. If you ever happen to know anyone looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, here's my card. Think of me." It's constantly having your antennas up and looking and talking to people all the time. Anyone else want to share any feedback before we wrap up today? Going once, twice. Okay, well,
John,
yep, go ahead.
I just have a really quick question. So when you share your card, do you give them a physical card or do you do your Savvy card?
It just depends. I use both. So there are times I'll give a physical card to somebody.